gonna start. I'm gonna start. Make sure you always press use to be imposter.
The answer is you don't.
But sometimes you're not gonna be the imposter. Like if you're an imposter, you're like the one imposter. You can just stand here and be AFK. Bah! I'm gonna do something.
Guys, sound like you stepped in a bug.
Okay, class. Spell Wednesday. I don't know how to spell Wednesday.
In the fire, no,
Wednesday. Just sound it out.
Hey guys, I'm famous.
So, like,
Okay.
no, James, it's Wednesday. You said sound it out, that's what you sounded out. You think you have it bad? Do is spelled with an X.
Bro, like I'm dead now.
You
You killed me. I'm dead
terrible
now.
at spell. I feel like everyone in life falls into two categories.
Boo.
Either you're good at math and bad at reading, or
The
you're
opposite.
If you've seen my other videos, you know that I'm a math boy. My mom told me that I have dyslexia because she has dyslexia and I have all the symptoms, but we never got that diagnosed by a doctor, so you can't make me take my meds, Mom. A lot of times what I do to cover up the fact that I spell lower than a first grade level is I will purposely misspell words to the point where it's obviously a joke. You thought I was doing that to be funny, but it's actually because I have zero self-confidence in my spelling and I don't want anyone to point out my mistakes. I mentioned this in a different video, but in elementary school, I was put into an honors program, and everyone had to take spelling tests a grade ahead of their level. And by everyone, I mean everyone except me, because I failed every single spelling test. So I had to take spelling tests that were on level. You. Every week when we took the spelling test, I would have to move to the back of the classroom, and the teacher would stand right next to me. She'd call out everyone else's word, which had like 8 syllables, like anti-disestablishmentarianism, and then she'd turn to me and give me my on-level word. James, your word is cat. Also, one year our class did a spelling bee, and everyone had to participate.
Yeah,
and, like,
sure.
I didn't even care that I was the first one out. Hey, that's almost my name. Another thing that I mentioned in a pretty old video is that I used to have a speech impediment when I was little. I couldn't pronounce my O's and I talked like this. I'm good now. Obviously. So every other day during school, I had to go to a
I think
speech
that's your
therapy
mother.
class. And one day, the teacher who taught me how to pronounce my O's, called her Mrs. Kool-Aid, gave me this sheet of paper with a bunch of raindrops on it, and she said, for every raindrop on this page, say the word raindrop. But then she just left the room, and I said, well, I'm not going to do this. I didn't say raindrop a single time, because, like, no one was even there. No one would have seen me not saying raindrop. So why would I do something that I didn't want to do? But then, the funny part is, when she came back, she asked, are you finished saying your raindrops? No.
Wow.
Well, how many did you say? I didn't say any. I told her the truth.
You're rude.
Why? It's probably the easiest line I
Guess
could
what?
get away
You're
with.
gonna die when you turn 20.
Still mad at myself
You're
for
talking
telling
about
the
stuff
truth.
with my
And I
mom.
would say raindrop a bunch of times in front of her, and she would only go to the next raindrop until I said it right. And it was terrible. Let me put my feelings. Since I was struggling with reading and spelling, I had to get an IE.
I haven't done my test yet. Are you serious?
I had to go to a special class during school. And the teacher
The imposter's literally gonna win.
Mrs. Kool-Aid. Oh yeah. I don't know why I said it like that. I don't remember anyone ever telling me I was put into a special needs class. I just remember going into speech therapy every other day. Then those classes slowly morphed into teaching me how to read and spell. I don't know, I thought reading this book would help me talk better. 2 other kids were in the reading class with me, and I remember the day when us 3 were given a simple
I think that is sus. Cause he was like, oh, I'm gonna go down this vent. Then he sees me. He's like, what? Oh, so a person. Am I? Do I really have to do this?
I said, what? No, you morons. Didn't you read this? It wasn't a
Oh, you.
So I was in these classes all the way until the 6th grade. I was getting better at reading. Still wasn't great, but I was getting better at it. And one day, Mrs. Kool-Aid said, "You know, James, you should try competing in the Battle of the Books." Battle of the Books? Battle of the Books? Battle of the Books? Finally, reading sounds fun! At my school, Battle of the Books was this competition where students were given a list of... After however many months it was, the contestants would sit in an auditorium and take turns answering questions about the books. And whoever got the most questions right would get a pizza party. And that's where the battle part comes in. We'd kill each other for pizza. Then there were 2 more rounds, each with 4 more books, so there was a total of 12 books you had to read. And we were allowed to be with a partner, so my partner was TJ. Hey TJ, do you remember Battle of the Books? Yeah man, it was great. Now you're probably thinking that 4 books in 2 months isn't that hard.
I think it's on green. Cleared me.
It was a challenge, but I discovered a way to cheat the system. I discovered something called audiobooks. Instead of having to sit still and read the book, I could just have someone read the book to me. And I would get through the book so much faster. I'd be able to read a book in about 8 hours as opposed to reading a book never, because I would never be able to finish a book on my own. And I was actually able to understand what was going on. I legitimately thought that listening to audiobooks was cheating because of how well it worked. So I never told anyone my secret until just now. Please don't tell anyone. Also, I didn't just turn on an audiobook and start playing video games. No, I sat in my bed next to the CD player and followed along with the book. Sometimes I even took notes. I've wanted to talk about my love for audiobooks for so long, but I can't, because then people will think I'm getting paid by a certain company, but I'm not, and I'll prove it. Instead of wasting your money on
Task one up. It went up.
LibriVox.org, where you can listen to free public domain audiobooks.
Yes, here. Yep. I have that same idea.
In my opinion, is anyway, TJ and I did the Battle of the Books, and for one of the rounds, TJ was sick, so I had to answer the questions all by myself, and I never forgave him for that. And also, the whole time, I was keeping track of everyone's points, and me and TJ got the most questions right. My math skills are finally being useful. I was already craving the pizza. After the last round, the teacher said, "Okay, I'll tally up all the points and let you all know who the winner is in a couple of weeks." Since I was keeping track of everyone's
It's literally black.
I knew we won. I turned to TJ and I said, "TJ, guess what?"
Black.
I did not notice that until just then. But then a couple of weeks go by and I'm not hearing any news about a pizza party. I was expecting to walk into class one day and there would just be a pile of pizza boxes waiting for me. But that never happened. The teacher in charge of the competition was the librarian. So one day I went up to her and I asked, "So, did you ever say who won the Battle of the Books? Also, my favorite pizza is barbecue chicken." And she said, "Oh, these 2 fifth graders won." So the Battle of the Books were both 5th and 6th graders. I was a 6th grader, so I went to all the 6th grader battles. But apparently, there was some low-life 5th grader who got every single question right and stole my pizza party. And that taught me a valuable lesson. Even when you work hard, don't always get what you want. That's okay. Because one day, with being an adult, you file the
Soon me.
without having to read first.
Sorry.
Hello, Dad.
Enemy down for a game of soccer. I mean football. This is 100% James.
What?
This isn't someone else doing the end card. This is
2.
me. This is James. I would never ask someone else to make an end card for me because I was too lazy.
Bruh. Please. It is black. It's black. Please. Are you?
I'm 93. No, Grandpa, we hate you. Just so you know, that gag was based off a comic I made back in 2014. So I wanted to make a Christmas video, but I didn't
Look
know
at
what
that
to talk about.
game.
So we're just gonna sit here and
I
watch
put the wrong news right now. It was like 1,000 hours ago. It was probably like 5 hours ago. And
You guys know about that
it is
soccer game
kind of
that
like,
happened in the middle of World
it's
War
so
I on
cool. I mean,
It
I'm
was
gonna show
between
you.
two opposing sides, the
I'm gonna
Allies
do a
and the Central
video of
Powers.
it.
I'm not making this up. So
Go with the
German
shirt
and British
quick.
troops were in the trenches, fighting for their lives. They were in the middle of a war after
Can
all.
we start?
On Christmas Eve,
And I know I'm gonna be in the
Christmas
posture.
carols, and
Because mostly, if there's like a little bit of people, I'm always good. I'm very tapping. Can y'all hear this?
Well, the British troops would have called it football, and the German troops would have called it football, but I'm calling it soccer. Yeah, I know I'm a heretic. I don't think anything like that has happened in a war ever. Except for that one time in the Revolutionary War when everyone
I'm sure if y'all hear that.
new Super Smash Brothers just came out.
Willy Wonka. Burn. What the name was Coochie Man? And I did not know what that meant. And that meant though. Yeah. Girl, yeah.
Stupid. Anyway, what I'm wondering is, do you think anyone
At first, I did not know that.
a little bit awkward?
But until I realized Nikki or
You're
Mira
fearing for
said,
your life?
did you see my
Well,
coochie?
that's good. That's good. That means we're doing a
Did
good
you see my
job. Do you
coochie?
think whoever won the game of soccer bragged to the other team? Haha, yes! First we beat you at football. Next, the world. Ah, dang it, my marshmallow burned.
Yo.
Rudolph comes to the table.
I could have pressed it. Imposter.
It's exploitable. Okay, I
So the imposter left the game.
I'm 14 and this is deep. How come no one sings any songs about any of the other reindeer? Rudolph saved
GG.
Christmas once. And like, he didn't
Press it. Oh, I was too late. I was too late. Imposter. Yes, go. Let's go.
You get your own song. Well, enough about you going down in history, Rudolph. I'm going to make my own song about Prancer.
Can't do that task.
Prancer, the
What I mean, we can't even do the task.
had a very normal
Are you?
nose. And if you ever saw it, you would even say, yep, that's the nose. All of the other reindeer respected him for meeting the expectations of what
The
a
heck?
normal to be like. They always let little Prancer play on.
I was literally the imposter.
Okay, I'll stop. What if the reason
This sucks.
Rudolph had a shiny nose?
I am leaving the game. Okay, goodbye. This is called falling among. The title is gonna be What's the title going to be? What is the title going to be? The title is probably gonna be. The title probably is going to be Among Us Hates. Yeah.
Well, there's one scene in the movie where
Among Us
Cornelius
Hates.
sacrifices himself to kill the abominable snowman, and he saves all of his friends, and also indirectly saves Christmas. But whatever, he doesn't get a song. But then later in the movie,
So yeah, bye.